Connective tissue isn't just one thing, it has categories. And in this video, we're going to be breaking down the subcategory, one of them being connective tissue proper. And what are the types of connective tissue propers, what each type does, what makes each one different. We're going to go through all that today. Hi everybody, welcome to the second episode, part B continuous of the Anatomy and Physiology series. My name is Ridhi Sreenivas, and today we're going to be talking about connective tissue proper, a broad category of connective tissue. So if you haven't checked out the second episode, part B, I would definitely recommend that, where I talk about connective tissue in general, and I'll be linking that in the comments down below. So, connective tissue proper is one of the major categories of connective tissue, and the term proper in this case refers to connective tissues that contain fibers and perform the typical binding and supporting roles that are expected from connective tissues that we kind of talked about in that last video. Now, there are two main subcategories under connective tissue proper, being loose connective tissue and dense connective tissue, classified into these groups based on, what types of cells are there, what types of fibers are there, and the amount of ground substance. Those three classification factors we kind of talked about last time. So let's first look at loose connective tissue. So it's called or referred to as loose because they have a lot of ground substance and a lot of space between fibers and cells. And loose connective tissue helps to fill those spaces and provide stability, supporting to the other structures around, like certain organs as well. So there are three main types of loose connective tissue, being areolar tissue, adipose tissue, and reticular tissue. So let's first talk about areolar tissue, the most common type of loose connective tissue, which has a loosely organized structure. Some of its main functions to connect certain tissues to other certain structures, while also providing support and cushion to certain structures as well. Areolar tissue contains high concentrations of macrophages and mast cells, therefore helping with fighting infection as well. And areolar tissue is basically found everywhere, but is most prominently found in, the derms of the skin and linings of tracts in the human body, like the urinary tract or digestive tract, but other ones as well. So next we have adipose tissue, which is composed of high concentrations of adipocytes with a small concentration of areolar tissue. And the main functions, due to its high concentration of these fat cells, is energy storage, insulation, and cushioning to protect organs. In some places it is found is in the subcutaneous layer of the skin, also known as the hypodermis, the buttocks and breasts, and etc. And lastly, we have reticular tissue, which is mainly composed of reticular fibers having this mesh-like structure. And this structure can kind of help with filtering blood and lymph fluid, as this type of tissue is mainly found in bone marrow, lymph nodes, the spleen, and liver, which need those abilities to filter out the toxins and things that need to be filtered out in blood and lymph fluid. So that's what the structure kind of helps with doing. And reticular tissue also contains large concentrations of immune cells, helping support immune functions and responses. And especially, with this mesh-like structure, it can help trap pathogens as well, so helping with the immune response in total as well. Next, we have dense connective tissue, and is called dense because of the high concentration of fibers in this tissue that are densely packed, making this tissue more strong compared to loose connective tissue. They also have a little bit of ground substance compared to loose connective tissue that has a lot, so another difference right there. But there are three types of dense connective tissue called dense regular connective tissue, dense irregular connective tissue, and dense elastic connective tissue. So we're first going to look at dense regular connective tissue, which has mainly collagen fibers arranged in this parallel structure. They're all parallel to each other, and the main cells found in this matrix are fibroblasts. And due to its structure, it can resist strong pulling forces from the same direction, and some other functions is it provides connections between certain structures, support, and stability. And some examples of this type of tissue are tendons, which connect muscles to bones, and there's also ligaments, which connect bones to other bones. Next, we're going to look at dense, irregular connective tissue, which is a tight mesh of collagen fibers with no specific pattern, not like parallel to each other or anything, no pattern, therefore irregular, and it mainly has fibroblasts in its concentration as well. And due to this random structure, the tissues can resist stresses from multiple directions, not just one, because of the random arrangement of fibers in many different directions. And so basically, it provides support and stability and is found in areas that are likely to face stresses from many different directions, like the dermis, nerve sheaths, and basically covering organs in general as well. And lastly, we're going to look at the specialized type of dense connective tissue called dense elastic connective tissue, which oddly contains mainly elastic fibers, which is kind of unexpected, but it just has more elastic fibers than collagen fibers compared to the other two types that we looked at. And so with more elastic fibers, it allows the tissue to stretch and return to its original shape, like when you stretch a rubber band and let go. And it is found in blood vessel walls to allow the blood vessel walls to dilate and contract in response to heat and temperature regulation, and as well as the walls of lungs to allow them to stretch when you're inhaling. And so that is the end of this video, since we went through all of the types of tissues in connective tissue proper, and next time we'll look at fluid connective tissues and supporting connective tissues. And if there are any questions or things you are specifically curious about in this type of tissue, then please feel free to comment those down below, and we can definitely discuss them next time. But anyways, thank you so much for watching this video, and stay tuned for future videos.